best in the game.
Someone put me out 'cause I'm on fire. About what they say. They've been searching for that thing and get denied. You can't catch my drift, can't catch my wave.
Never play by the rules, that's a play.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Today, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green-Bey Pэкерс.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green-Bey Pэкерс. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
The debate about Kirk Cousins continues to rage both among Vikings fans and fans around the league. But when you look at his numbers, you think this is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Last year broke a string of 4 straight 4,000-yard passing years with the emergence of Dalvin Cook in the backfield.
Menu narration option is set to off. Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration. Menu narration option is set to off.
So while those numbers dropped, he was still solid throwing the football. 26 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. Now he's just got to develop an extra target on the perimeter in order to get his numbers back to the previous levels.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield, marking down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
1st and 10.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tajay Sharp there to make the grab. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
For the extra point. And all he takes off with it, it's a fake. Down the numbers, there he goes. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
We're talking new football here. We're talking new models, new paradigms, new ways of looking at things. They score, line up for the PAT, fake it, and go up 8-0. bit of loss here because if I'm going to go for two, I'm going to ask him to put the ball in the 2-yard line and bring my offense in.
Exactly. Opening drive of the game, faking it is bold enough from the 15. That's quite another thing.
I know a lot of people fall back on analytics, but still, I think that person would tell you, put your offense in and go from the 2, not from the 15.
Still got it, though.
Yes, they did. Give them credit.
Automatic first down.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Rodgers. He's got Lewis. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Mercedes Lewis.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown in the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Keep on the ground with Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
16 yards.
So many times someone's success is the product of a lot of things coming together really well. And for Aaron Jones in 2019, it all came together for him. He stayed healthy, was on the field for all 16 games, got handed the ball 100 more times last year, and as an end result, broke 1,000 yards in a season rushing for the first time in his career.
A gain of 12. And a Packer first down.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Only the Titans converted more red zone opportunities into touchdowns than the Packers last year. And they've got an opportunity here, 1st and goal. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
Green Bay.
Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
Touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Packers move back within a couple of the lead. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here, you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. He's got it, so they take just the 1 here, and that makes it an 8-7 game in the first. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay 65 yards.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Now a first and 10 at the 11. Off the play fake, Cousins. And a little floater there is incomplete. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. And Thielman's got it. Touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen there to make the grab. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on.
For Minnesota.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a first and 10 at the 41-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Derek Kendricks. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
First and 10 and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Brought down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Cousins hands to Dalvin Cook.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Open man here is Conklin. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion. But you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up up to the 26.
Daniil Hunter on the stop. It's
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. On third down. Complete. This is Lewis. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. We remind you, lots more to come here in this opening weekend of the Return to Football 2020. Coming up later tonight, it's the national debut of SoFi Stadium in Southern California. The Cowboys and the Rams doing battle there. And then 2 more to finish off the week on Monday Night Football. The Steelers and Giants from MetLife Stadium and the Titans and Broncos from Mile High. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10. Once again from the 28. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That's complete to Sharp. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game the play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
Brings up
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Give to Cook out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Josh Jackson.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Lets it fly for Thielen. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score.
Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, it's Taylor. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. 2nd quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
5 yards on
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
He's got his man, Valdez Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
First down, Green Bay.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get this one down to the 45.
Aaron Jones on the
Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
He was brought down.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
Complete to Marquez.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
And a Packer.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
23-yard line.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Slant to Adams.
Rodgers pass.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. They run. It's Williams. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain.
Brendan, let's file this play away for later. Let's note this play because, to me, it's not out of the question that the decision to pass up the 3 there could come back to haunt them later on.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That went nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes, just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And this one put in by Rudolph. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
1st and 10.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And this is going to be hauled in. What a catch at the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Tajay Sharp as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
They missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Just a full-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota.
Kickoff for Minnesota.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, it's Taylor. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
1st and 10. At their
Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The final shot before half for Rodgers. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third.
Dan Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. On the return, it's Taylor. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams sprint to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now he's fourth. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The defense going to blanket the field. 6 now in the secondary here for 3rd and 15. They'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe. Touchdown, Vikings! Chad Beebe, 40 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings.
Dan Bailey.
And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know,
oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
they're under that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
Aaron Rodgers sacked.
Fumble on the 2nd time in this game, Charles. The ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled? Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offensive line, this margin too.
And he He's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. 12 yards there and a first down.
I don't care how you look at it, how you cut it, how you parse it. Adam Thielen continues to be an absolute marvel, coming from where he did, Division III football, to being one of the top receivers in the NFL. But it's going to be vital for the Vikings in 2020 to keep number 19 on the field, especially since he lost his old running mate, Stephon Diggs, to the Buffalo Bills. And a hamstring injury last year really held his numbers in check. His lowest receiving yardage since 2015. Look for another breakout from Adam Thielen after plays like that.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And this offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's polished off by a Viking score.
Dan Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. On the return, it's Taylor. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Yards on the punt there. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And nobody in the stadium feels better than he does right now. Just a slew of touchdown passes. He's been spectacular.
And you and I both know this is a team game, one of the best team games that's out there. But right now, I've forgotten what the scoreboard even says. Just watching what he's doing,
It's been fun.
That's been mesmerizing and a whole lot of fun to watch.
He's hoping to keep it going here in the 3rd quarter. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Open man is Thielen, it's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's complete. Abdullah. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trailed big in this 4th quarter. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Packers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
10 yards to go.
That'll be complete to Alan Lazard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
A gain of 15.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for
Here's 2nd and 10.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Rodgers throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Intended for
The Packers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
down. And
Rodgers lost the football.
Aaron Rodgers sacked. Fumble on the play. Recovered by
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able...
And he fires one that's intercepted. The rookie Cameron Dantzler puts it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
touchdown, Vikings.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, it's Taylor. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end.
Rodgers pass.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
At the Vikings' 48-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. The Pro Bowl wideout Devontae Adams, his intended receiver. And it's third and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to our 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the 1 here, the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. On the return, it's Taylor. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And the 2nd down throw on target. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 12.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Ball carrier.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 3.
Going to run with Madison again.
7.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. They'll run here. Abdullah. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
That's good for a Minnesota Vikings.
On the handoff, it's Madison. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Minnesota Vikings.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
4-yard line.
They'll run with Madison. Shrugs him off. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Minnesota, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here.